This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given an integer as input, and this integer is actually a query. So there are three different types of queries. So the query can be either 1 or it can be 2 or it can be 3. So if the query is 1, then there will not be any input given after that. So actually our task is to print the name and age of a person, and if the name or age of any of the value is not given, then we have to initially assume that the default name of the person is person and the default age of the person is 0. So in the query 1 we are not given the name and age of a person, so we have to assume the default values. So I am printing the person name as person itself and the age is 0. And now let us move to our sample input 2. So here we are given query 2. So in query 2, the name of the person will alone be given as input. So the default name of the person is person. So that should be replaced with the given person name. So here the given person name is Rachel. So his name should be replaced with Rachel, and we are not given the age. So for age we have to assume the default age itself. So the name is Rachel and his age is 0. And now in our sample input 3, it is of query 3. So in query 3 we are given both the name as well as the age of the person as input. So we have to replace both the default values. So the default value person is replaced with Mambo and the default age 0 is replaced by 45. So this is how we are replacing the values. So actually our task is to define a class named person which performs all these actions. So first let us see the code which is already given to us. So in the code given to us, first we are accepting a integer named query as input, and after that we are creating a reference for the class named person named P, and initially we are setting it as null. So till now we have not created object for the person class, we have just created a reference named P. And now we are checking whether the query is equal to 1 or 2 or 3. So if the query is 1, then no input will be given. So we are directly creating an object for the person class. So we are setting P is equal to new person. So in the arguments we are not passing any values because we are not accepting any input if the query is equal to 1. And then if the query is equal to 2, then the name alone will be given as input. So we are accepting the name from the scanner, and then we are creating an object by passing the name in the arguments. So we can see that P is equal to new person, and in the arguments we are giving the name. So this is for the query 2. And if it is query 3, then we will be given both the name as well as the age. So we have to accept both the things first as input, and then while creating the object we have to pass the name as well as age in the arguments. So we are creating object as per the query, and after creating the object we are just using a system.out.print and we are printing the object. So to solve this question we have to use the constructor overloading concept, and we have to override the toString method in order to print the object named P. So now let us see how we will be defining the class named person. So first I am creating a class named person, and then I am creating a string named name, and it is given in the question that the default name is person itself. So I am setting string name is equal to person, and then the default age is equal to 0. So I am creating an integer named age and I am setting it to 0. And now we have to create 3 constructors. So if it is query 1, then no arguments will be passed in the constructor. So we have to create a constructor for that. So here we need not perform anything, we can leave it as such. So whenever the object is going to be created with no values in the arguments, the default name and age will be initialized to the person. And suppose if it is query 2, then we will be given the name alone in the arguments. So here we are overloading the constructor. So here I am creating another constructor, and in the arguments I am accepting a name alone as input. So we have accepted only the name, so we have to initialize that name alone. So I am setting this dot name is equal to name, but still the age remains 0 itself because we are not accepting age. And if it is query 3, we are given the name as well as the age. So here I am creating another constructor which has 2 values in the arguments. So a string name as well as the integer age. So here we have to initialize both the name as well as the age. So we have to set this dot name is equal to name and this dot age is equal to age. So this is how we will be overloading the constructor named person for satisfying all the three given queries. So now we would have created an object for the query. So now we were directly printing the object in the main function, which is not possible. So whenever we are going to directly print an object, then the object will be converted into a string using the toString method, and we will be getting some hexadecimal value. So in order to avoid that, we have to override the toString method. So here I am using the override keyword and I am overriding the toString method. So in the return statement, we should return the output in the required format. So it is given in the question that the name and age of the person should be printed separated by a colon. So here we have to have a return statement such a way that it returns the name and then colon and the age. So this is how we should define in the class named person in order to get the correct output. So this is the logic to solve today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.